Hey everyone, this is Chris McDonald. I think we still have another minute to go before noon o'clock. So we'll wait a little bit longer, but we have myself and Matt Avery is on as well.
Hello.
So, and this is a new thing we're going to be doing, which is Timer Tip Tuesday. The idea is to put out a series of webinars around different tools that we have within RunSignup, and hopefully get everyone up to speed on how to use all the tools. So if you do have something that you'd be interested in learning more about, feel free to shoot me an email, CRISP@RunSignup. I'd be more than happy to look into doing a topic of your choosing as well. So today we're going to be talking about bib management, and we talk a whole lot about dynamic bib assignment. But today we're actually going to focus on everything else. So it's funny to say non-dynamic, but normal bib assignment. And so for those of you not doing dynamic bib assignment or currently have your bib assignment set up off of RunSignup, a lot of the things we're going to be talking about are the processes that you currently have in place and how you can manage those within the RunSignup environment. I do have a handful of slides. However, I might just kind of jump back and forth out of the slide deck because I do have some test events. So I have a test event that is a 5K and a 5K relay. And then I have a test pool swim triathlon. So the reason behind that is because we have most races are your normal 5K. And they might have a set way of doing bib assignment, whether it be the first person to register gets bib number 1, or the youngest person gets bib number 1, or you don't really care as long as that bib grouping keeps counting up. Whereas kind of a more difficult way of assigning bibs, and we'll kind of graduate up to the pool swim. A number of people that are doing pool swim triathlons, they have to use a lot of different ways to assign bibs. For instance, and then we'll get to this, but maybe there's an elite division or a collegiate division, and then you have your age groups, which might include like Athenas and Clydesdales. And then you might have your novice division, and all three of those sets are seeded by a custom question, like what is your approximate 100-meter time. And so we'll get to that one, and we'll actually go through a test scenario of setting those bib numbers up. So let's start in and just where do I go assign bib numbers? So under Go Race Day, bibs and assign bibs and chips, you have 3 options. So the assign bibs and chips are what we're going to be living in for this talk. We do only have about 20-25 minutes and then some time for Q&A. So again, I'm going to kind of breeze through the slide deck just because I don't want to get hung up on some of the smaller things. So this is what we land on when we click on that bibs section, and we have a number of different ways of going through this. So with that being said, the importing bib, and that is exactly what it sounds like. So if we go into our test bib assignment event, we have a bunch of different random people in here. So we can go in to view participants, and from here we can export the participants, and you can export everything as a CSV or just this specific report. Since there's not that much information within this race, we'll just download this report as a CSV, and I'm going to, let's see, give me one sec. I'm going to pull this up with Excel, since most of you guys use Excel. And let's see, I can get this to pull up on might have to go into, there we go. So we've got all of our participants from this event in an Excel doc. So as you can see, I didn't download all the information, but I do have the registration ID here. And this is important. So with an import, you can quite literally say, I have these random bib numbers, and you can import these in if we don't care about the rest of these people. And to be honest, we don't have to include anything else. And we can take this information, and all we're going to be doing is importing this reg ID and bib number in. So we do need to go to File, Save As, and we'll do save it. And now when we go into Race Day Tools, Bibs, Sign Bibs and Chips, try to make this a little bit bigger. If I have full screen, it won't let me pull over my Excel. And we go to Import Bibs and Chip Numbers. We can quite literally go in, open this, and you'll see reg ID and bib numbers. You can allow duplicates. You can ignore rows without reg IDs or with the reg ID errors. So if we go to import this, it shows that those bibs and chips are assigned. So we go in and view those participants, and those 4 people that we assigned the bibs and chips to, they have bib numbers in there now. So it's a fairly easy thing. All you have to do, again, is you're going to export either all, if you need everything, or you can download the report as a CSV. And the only thing you have to save once you get everything assigned, bib number wise, as you want, is the reg ID and bib number, and that's how it's assigned. And so let's say we've messed up. So one other nice way of dealing with that is we can go in and we can say, I want to clear the assigned bib and chip numbers. So we're going to clear those bibs and chips. We go back into participants, and those bib numbers are gone. So let's say we'll go to the next one, and I'm sure there'll be some questions on some of these. So we're going to go to Race Day Tools, Bibs, Assign Bibs and Chips, and we'll go to manually assign bib and chip numbers. So you can pick your race, assign for test race 5K, we'll just stay in that event specifically, and we'll go to get participants. So this brings up a number of, or all of your participants. You can search, you can select how you want people to be ordered. And so all of this can change. And then all you have to do is type in the bib number that you want for anyone that you want it to. And we can assign bibs and chip numbers. And again, if we go into the participants, we can see those random people, 1, 15, 555, 1, 2, 3, 4. There might have been one other. Nope. So again, you can select, and that's a very specific way of doing it for, in that the in the manual assign, this would only be used for very, very small events or very specific instances where you need to assign bib numbers in that fashion. So again, this one's not used very frequently, and we'll get to how import bib and chip numbers can be used with different ways for the pool swim. And so we're going to go back, and again, we're going to clear out the bib numbers. So again, if we go into participants and view participants, we have no bib numbers in there under this column. So we'll go into the next way of assigning bibs. And this is the one where a lot of people use this for sellout events. So the difference in between assigned bib numbers at time of registration and assigned bib numbers. Assigned bib numbers, you can use a number of different ways to assign these bib numbers, but it's only for people who are registered right now. So anyone that registers new will not have a bib number assigned. Now, you can pair this with the assigned bib numbers at time of registration, and I'll show you how to do that. But realistically, if we go into assigned bib numbers, you can choose the events. So we'll just choose the test 5K. We want to start with bib number, let's say we just have some leftover bibs that start at 333 and go to 500. And you could do last name, first name, you could do first name, last name, age, reg date, whatever you want to do here. So most events use the last name, first name. You can choose to assign in descending order, and you can assign in super events as well. So one thing I want to point out, this right here is the only place in all of RunSignup where you can overwrite a bib number. So you can clear a bib number on that clear bib number screen. But if you go in and manually enter some bib numbers, as long as you don't click this button on this assigned bib number screen, you're not going to overwrite bib numbers already in there. So if we go to assign bib numbers, what it's done, it tells you the last bib number used. And again, we have people in 2 events. We only selected the 5K. So if we go to view participants, we can say by last name, person ABA, Captain America is 2nd, test dad is 3rd. So again, you can tell by last name that the bib numbers are being assigned in ascending order. So we will have, and again, keep in mind, we had some, well, we might actually not have the relays in there anymore. But we do have everyone in here in the test 5K has a bib number. So again, we'll go back. I realize we're kind of toggling back and forth in between clearing these out. I just didn't want to have 15 different types of events open for the same demo. So we'll go into bibs again and clear these out. So we'll go back into participants. We can view those participants and see that there's no bib number in there. So if you clear these participants, keep in mind that it does not care. This clear participant or clear bib numbers, it's going to clear everyone out unless you set a minimum and a maximum bib number to clear out. So just keep that in mind. You might want to save, if you're worried about fouling up, what I would do is once you assign those bib numbers, I would save an Excel file just so you have a backup that you could re-import if you have any issues. You can also clear out group bib numbers, and we'll go through that here in a second. So with the bib numbers, the final way of doing it is going to the assigned bib number at time of registration. So this allows you to continue on forward. The benefit here is if you still have registration open and you already have people registered, and we do have corrals for this event, so you can make ranges by corral, and we can do a completely different talk on how to set up corrals and different ways to use it. But these automatically assigned bib numbers can be super helpful if you have registration still open, and let's say you have a 5K, 10K, and your 5K you want bib numbers 1 to 500, and your 10K you want 501 to 1000, and you want to make sure there's no overlap. You can share the bib number with the other event. So that means that if you had 1 to 500, let's say 1 to 500 and 1 to 500, that means that whoever registers first, regardless of event, is going to be bib number 1. And there's not going to be 2 bib number 1s because this pool of bibs is shared in between the 2 events, both ways. So we already have people registered in the event. So we need to make sure, okay, we want people to assign bibs who have already registered. So what this does is now if we go into participants, it's whoever registered first. And if we go in and register a new person, so I'm just going to go in and do a quick sign up. Let's see. And we'll do just normal registration. Ooh. Let's see. Of course, I have all these test people in here. And we have inventories in. So small is sold out, so I'll pick a large. And I'll just make up some information there. We have add-ons in here. We have store items in here, which I'm not going to do. We're not going to sign up for result notifications. And just so I don't have to pay money, we're going to apply a coupon code and complete registration. So it looks like I'm in there now. We can refer people if we want to. And if we go in, so I should be number 26. So I hit refresh, and there it is, number 26. So that's a great way to pair things. So we'll see how quickly I can walk through the pool swim and go through that example of how to set things up. So what we have here is we have, there's a different test event. So we have a couple relays, we have a collegiate division, we have an individual division, and then we also have, let's see, let's customize the view, and we can look at, please select your division. We'll add some questions into this so we can see all of it. So Ed is the relay team swimmer, and here's his time. All the rest of the people get this time that they've added in. That this is their approximate 100-meter pace time. And then if they're not in the collegiate division, see how these are collegiates. If they're in the individual division, they have to choose their category, age group, novice, and Clydesdale and Athena. So if we go in, and this is going to be a fairly large report when we export it, but we download the report, download all as CSV, and I go back into Excel, and we'll open this. One sec, I'll get rid of this one and pull this up. So we don't really care. Let's see, we've already got a group number in there for these guys, but we can remove the name if we want to, because all we really care about is the bib, and if you have relays, the race group bib. I'm not going to care about the chip number, and so I'm going to remove a lot of this information, and we're going to just be doing sorts out of this. So a lot of this information, again, the only thing we care about is that those seed times and some of their answers. hopefully I've not deleted too much. Let's see. Here are seed times. It looks like I did actually delete the category. Give me one sec. Well, if we wanted to have, and we can divvy this out, but realistically, you can sort through this. I mean, you guys know how to use Excel. So we'll have the collegiate individual and the regular individual. We'll say in this event that the individuals go second, the collegiates go first. And so with that, we can delete out all of these guys, and so I'll move this to here because we only have one relay and this is the swimmer. So, and then from here, all we have to do is we create another page or another spreadsheet, and we can sort through these guys separately. And again, this is kind of a more challenging way of doing, like a more challenging example here. But with the collegiate individuals, and don't forget to add in your header, otherwise it will sort strangely with those. There we go. And then we will delete these columns altogether. And so again, we're almost there. So now we can sort by the pace time. And so again, smallest to largest, expand the selection. For some reason, I don't think that. There we are. And so bib number, if we're going to start here, or if we're going to start, I think we said the collegiates are going to go first. So we're going to sort those first, smallest to largest, expand. Their bib number is going to be, and this is actually sorting these guys at the bottom. So we'll make sure 1, 2, 3 for that. And then 4, 5. Click and drag these guys. So we ended at 34. So we might want to start at like 51 here. And to be honest, since it did the same thing, we'll see if there's anybody at the very bottom. There is. So 51, and then we'll start up here, 52, 53. And again, I think you guys are probably getting the hang of what we're doing. So all of this is, all we really care about in the end is this column, the reg ID and the bib number. So we take all of this information, put it back into the first one. And again, this is a more challenging scenario here. But when we remove everything else out and we save it, file, save as, and we'll save this as pool swim bibs. And we can delete this page altogether. All right, and now if we go into here with a race day tools, bibs, assign bibs and chips, and I'm going to clear out the relay team bibs really quickly, and then I'm going to import bibs and chip numbers. And we have that pool swim bibs open, import. And now if we go into the participant screen, we have all the people with their bibs. And if we view their swim time, 100-meter pace time, and update that report, we can see that if we sort by bib number, we can see as it goes up, 46, 55, 56. So it's going from fastest to slowest for the collegiate division. And then it'll drop back down as soon as the last collegiate is done. The fastest age grouper is 51. And so if we still have registration open, then we can go in and say that we want to auto assign bibs from 1 to 50. And for individuals, we want it to be 51 to 300. And we're going to do relays manually or something like that. So if we do this and set up automatic bib assignment, and that just gave me a notification that I don't have bib assignment set up for relays. So if I go back into my participant screen and customize the view to look at the 100-meter pace time, nothing changed. So everyone is still there in the same order. And now any new people, any new collegiate, the next collegiate registration, regardless of their time, will be number 35. The next age grouper will be, I don't know what the last number was, 202 will be the next age grouper that registers. So again, we're not going to go through dynamic bib assignment today. We're going to do that next week. So I'm sure there are some questions. What happens when husband and wife switch bibs after results have been imported? So Duncan, it's this dependent on your scoring platform. In most scenarios, you're going to want to update that information within scoring. Do you want to respond with what scoring are you using, like race director, race day scoring? Because in those scenarios, you can actually swap those bibs within scoring and re-push the results up to RunSignup. So that was, I was just answering a question from Duncan about if the husband and wife switch bibs after results have been imported. Are there any other questions pertaining to this? And Duncan, if you have additional questions, oh, hold on. Okay, so race director, but moving to race day. So yeah, there's a swap function, Duncan. If you go into race director and you go to update participants at the top in the middle, there's a swap bib numbers button. And you can do that and then re-push the results up to RunSignup. Are there any other questions? No problem. Any other questions regarding bib assignment? Again, you can mix and match these. And just to reiterate, the only place, if you're gonna like import more, or if you're going to use like the auto assign at registration or the assign bib numbers, in terms of, you can select both of these events and import numbers in by all of these different rules. Just remember, the assign bib numbers does not keep going if registration is still on. And this is the only screen where you can overwrite the bib number is already in there. So if you get, like, if your race director calls you and says, hey, my friend's number, you know, I want him to be number 13, and, you know, I want my whatever, my other friend to be number 666, you can manually put those in through, and we're back into the 5K. You can go in and clear, like, so I'm just going to start over. So you can go in and manually assign your friends, like Captain America is going to be number 13 and Jolly Green Giant's going to be number 666. So we can assign those. So again, if we go into participants and view participants, we'll see that 666 and 13 are in there. And let's say everybody else, the race director doesn't care about. So that's where you can go into your assigned bib numbers or registration, and we'll say it's like 201 to 400, or heck, it could be 1250 to 1500. And assigned to people who have already registered. And so when we go into participants, it did not overwrite that information. So we still have number 13, we still have number 666, and it started at 1250 like we told it to, and counted up from there. Any other questions regarding non-dynamic bib assignment? You guys have a little thing on your right that you can type in questions, or if you have additional questions or specific use cases that you'd like to go over, feel free to shoot me an email. Again, crisp, CRISP, @runsignup.com. I'll give it another minute more just in case you guys do have more questions. Not seeing anything else popping up. So, okay. Well, I appreciate everybody being on. If you do have more questions, feel free to reach out. If you do have any additional topics that you'd like to review, feel free to shoot those to me as well. Especially as, like, we're looking at maybe doing a participant management one. And we got it. Let's see. Oh, no problem, Duncan. And we're looking at doing dynamic bib assignment, web check-in, normal check-in app. All of these we'll be doing one a week on Tuesdays at noon Eastern, and we'll try to keep it in between 20 and 30 minutes, including question and answers. So thank you guys for being on. I appreciate it, and I will catch you next week with part 2 of bib assignment, which is dynamic bib assignment. So have a great week, and good luck with your events this weekend. Take care.